Welcome back to the foundation.
I slip David in there. He's trying to hide behind the curtain over here.
Never.
He's behind the scene kind of guy, huh?
No. I've always been a sucker for the camera. You should you should see me topless, but that's a different story. Anyway.
I'm surprised you don't record some of your singings when you play and put them on there.
Yeah, I have a whole TikTok for that.
Oh, TikTok. I'm talking about YouTube.
Yeah.
So, spit it out.
Yeah.
Excuse me, folks.
Too much coffee. You need more?
No, we're sitting here drinking the M&M coffee.
M&M coffee. And it is M&M good.
Trying to keep our brains active.
David, if you were to put your cup on your head, your tongue would suck your brains out trying to get it. Get a taste. That's a true statement too. Anyway, so we're back. And David, what do we got here?
We are transitioning into chapter 8 of John on the adulterous woman.
Are you telling me you have a transition?
Another one.
Oh, I'll declare 2 in one night.
Well, if we keep going, you'll get another one.
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay. See what our transition has to say. In this memorial story about a woman caught in adultery, Jesus doodled in the dirt while the crowd, whom he had confronted with their own sins, slowly departed without stoning her. Scholars are divided, however, over whether the story was originally part of the Gospel of John. It is found in the vast majority of Greek manuscripts of the fourth Gospel, but is not found in any of the earliest manuscripts. In some Greek manuscripts, it appears in 3 other places in the Gospel of John, or even in the Gospel of Luke. This is after Luke 21:38. Moreover, the Greek in John 7:53 through 8:11 is of a markedly different style and character than that found in the remainder of the fourth Gospel. Though it is uncertain whether the story was an original part of John's Gospel, it is still possible that it preserves an actual event from Jesus' ministry.
Yeah, this
even I don't think even human reasoning would come up with the results of what Jesus did. It's just too good to miss.
And you know, this is actually one of my favorite stories in the Gospels, and a phrase that I thought was mentioned in the Gospels quite a bit, but it's not. We'll get there in a second. David, this is a fascinating story right here. You know. So, John chapter 7, finishing out 7, and everyone went to his own house. And that's it. So, which brings us to 8. But when Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, there's a kind of reminds me of Matthew 24, right, David? The Mount of Olives.
Well, he always went back and forth there.
Yeah. You know, can I say this though? I think everybody needs a place where, I don't know, I'm not saying that something big or major happens, but like this, you know, I would always go to the Kansas City train station. You go above where, if you Google it and type on the pictures, that's what let's see. And I would always just go there and bring my Bible and study and pray, and I brought my guitar up there, sometimes, and everybody needs a place. Thank you, Dave. That's good. That's good. That you can always go to and say, hey, I remember that. Just a reminder. Oxford softball fields.
Well, in this thing where him going to the Mount of Olives.
Yeah.
I think during the last week of the Passover leads up to his crucifixion.
Yeah.
Every day, Palm Sunday he comes in on the donkey.
Yes. Yes.
But at the end of the day, there's a I think his name's Simeon. He went to this place and stayed there.
Yeah.
Next morning he'd get up, he'd go back to the temple again, preach a few more again. Then he'd go back, maybe back to Simeon.
Yeah.
Then he'd get up next morning, then he'd go back to the temple again. In the day he'd go back, maybe somebody else's house. Then he'd go back to the temple, and then he'd come back. Maybe he went to the Mount of Olives, but he was always traveling back and forth from where he was staying to the temple during that whole week. And of course, the very last night he was at the Mount of Olives when they came and got him. But it's probably a little more peaceful there.
Yeah.
Because that's a good place. It was a good place for him to pray.
Yep. Well, where's one of your little places like that you just go to? And which that was kind of a noisy area up in that with all the traffic going on. But anyway, what's your peaceful place that you could go to?
Well,
that you go to regularly.
Home. Yeah, true. I'm either sitting at the kitchen table, or I'm out there on the back porch or sunroom, and amazingly, it's pretty quiet out there.
Yeah.
Until the neighbor's dog sees me.
There you go.
Then it starts barking.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was good. So now, early in the morning. Oh my goodness. Think about this, David. The early bird gets the worm, right? If you read in the Bible,
especially to get up right before dawn.
Yeah. If you read in the Bible, there's just something about getting up early in the morning.
Well, they're early morning for them is around 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, yeah, true. But that's when your day starts, and they're thinking. I think.
Well, you got how the Earth turns on its axis and rotates around the sun.
Are you telling me that the world is round and not flat?
Well.
Oh, David! Oh no!
Hey,
keep going.
I'm not 500 years old. Anyway, the Middle East is along the equator.
Yeah.
So there's not much difference in the way the sun swings on it. So pretty much 6 in the morning is pretty consistent for them.
Yeah, that's true. You could have laughed up. You could at least fake laughed at my joke, but that's okay.
We're not getting into that kind of history now, because I don't want to fall off the edge of the earth.
Oh no, me neither. Anyway,
I won't even fly off of it. Just think they didn't fly back then when they had that superstition. If they thought they could fly, I wonder if they thought they could fly off the end of the earth.
Oh, David, no joke. You didn't know that? That people really think today, right here, right now,
today,
that they think that the earth is flat. You did not know that?
I thought that was something that
No.
that the whole world done got over.
No. Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'd like to find out who these people are. It can't be from this country.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. We might.
That's funny.
Buckle up, folks. We might be here for a while. Okay.
I wonder what they learned in school.
They're not too bright, are they? Anyway.
Must not have made it to the 6th grade or something.
I thought you knew that people say that the earth is flat.
Not in this country.
Yeah.
Not in countries that have good education. Because we're taught world
Americans, David, Americans.
We're taught world history.
You see, I'm learning him something today.
In the 10th grade. And in world history, it tells you that the world is round.
Oh, David.
You
should have told me that. I could show you a lot of things.
Well,
we might do that Friday. I don't know.
Yeah, you're going to have to show me something. I mean, I cannot believe that people in this country,
Yes, sir.
Some people like that would be that.
Hey.
Let's get going. We got a lot of verses to cover.
And I'm serious. I'm serious as a heart attack. Yep.
Well, don't have one of them either.
Well, yeah, let's not. Okay. Now, early in the morning, that's good advice, by the way. You see, I woke up this morning. We're going to eventually cover it tonight if David wants to. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning with something. I said, oh, I need to do that tonight. But we'll get there eventually. You see, whenever you eat pizza with too much peanut butter on it, cold pizza too, by the way, you wake up in the middle of the night with weird ideas. I'll tell you what.
You trying to make that pizza stick to your ribs?
Yeah. Extra protein. Anyway, okay.
As long as there's meat on the pizza,
yeah,
you're getting extra protein.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go.
Yep. So, into the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought him a woman caught in adultery. So, okay, we have this woman here that's caught in adultery. There's a couple of things amiss, and Jesus, of course, points it out to us. And when they had set her in the midst, they said to him, they had to, say, hey, this person did wrong, Jesus, Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery in the very act. Now, here we go, Moses' law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what do you say? And this, they said, testing him, that they might have something to which to accuse him of. But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger as though he did not hear them. David, classically, I got to ask, what do you think he wrote? I love this passage. I love this story. This is an incredible story.
Well, it just says, we don't know what kind of writing it is.
Yeah.
But if it's got to be, I guess it had to be dirt it's writing in.
Uh-huh.
So here's what he wrote, or what he did. Takes his fingers and goes, doodlebug, doodlebug, your house is on fire. Doodlebug, doodlebug, your house is on fire. Doodlebug, doodlebug, your house is on fire. Next thing you know, a bug comes up out of that dirt. That's what he wrote.
I gotta say, I've never heard that one before.
See, I got one on you now.
But in all seriousness, what if he was writing addresses, and they're thinking, "Oh no, he knows about that." Ooh, or names, or their sins that they committed. we talked about this Sunday. This is great. And also, last week's passage, David, that we did last week about the paralytic man, or the man with the demon-possessed boy. We talked about that Monday night before I came to our Bible study. God is really speaking to us. And now, David, I want your ear on this. What do you think about this? You see, everything's connected, right? That there's a reason why last week's Bible study up in Ohatchee matched the Tuesday night Bible study. There's a reason why that sermon Sunday that Brady taught was the same as tonight. That is mind-blowing. You see,
You talk about the adulterous woman?
he sure did. Incredible.
So what did he have to say about her?
You want to get into it? Let's do it. So,
But first,
yes, go ahead, please, go ahead.
since you stopped off at 6,
Yes.
and it's doing is to testing. It says Jesus had said not to stone her, he would have contradicted Jewish law. If he had said to stone her, he would have run counter to Roman law. Ooh, they had it either way,
Yeah.
which did not permit Jews to carry out their own executions. What Jesus wrote on the ground is a matter of conjecture.
In other words?
It could have been anything.
Oh, yeah, it could have been anything. It could have been doodlebug. Here comes the bug out of the ground. Yeah, you know.
Well, next time someone do this scripture, tell them what Jesus wrote.
But everyone, really though, if you want to kind of think about it in that aspect, what if Jesus just stooped on the ground and wrote, or just started circling, whatever, right? But using that as a distraction due to what he's about to say. Well, David, let's see.
Keep on going.
Yeah.
You're on verse 7.
Yep. So when they continued to ask him, David, I want you to think about this. This is okay. He raised himself up and said to them, Hold it, David. He raised himself up. That's an interesting statement. I think it means a little bit more than Jesus just standing up. What do you think? Let's talk about that, because that is.
Well, look, you go back to verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
It says that he sat down and began teaching them. So he was in a sitting position to start with.
Yes.
He didn't squat down when they brought her to him. He was already down.
Yeah. And it's kind of like that. I don't know if this is true. God forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think everyone being like in a circle, right? And they put the lady in the middle and say, "Hey, look what this lady did. This lady, she is caught in adultery, and hey, what are you going to do about it?" You know what I mean? Like pointing this lady out. Anyway, just something to think about. But I think, good point. That's a good point. So what you said. That just hit me.
See, the thing is, he's straightening up. He's standing up. Teaching time's over.
Yep.
It's time to do something else. It's time to do something serious here.
Hey, and that's why we call him the professor. Hey, Dave, I need a little button that, those, you can buy them, and they're maybe bigger than this, but you press a button, and it's like a little speaker, and people clap. I need that. Or they laugh because nobody laughs at my jokes, but that's okay. Anyway, okay, here we go. He raised himself up and said to them, "Who is you without sin?" Let's see. Who among you is without sin? Let him now throw a stone at her first. Now, here's the corn dog theory. We call it the corn dog theory because if it's wrong, you know, me and him, we both get blamed for it. I think, you know, Jesus says, all right, he stood up, and then he said, all right, everybody stand up. George, you get a stone. Philip, you get a stone. You get a stone, you get a stone, you get a stone, you get a stone.
Well, they were probably already standing the crowd.
Yeah.
It's him the one that's... When a
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
When a rabbi started to teach, he sat down or squatted down.
Right.
And so that's what Jesus did when he first there.
Yeah.
And he began teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Now they bring this woman along. Tell him she committed adultery. What you gonna do about it?
Yep.
He stands up.
Mm-hmm.
He tells them, "This is what you got to do."
Yep.
But then look what happens in the next verse when you fix to read it.
Right. You know, I think that everyone there got a stone and said, "All right, George, here's your pen. Write your name on that on that stone, right? Peter, James, John, you do the same, and let's go on from that." Let's see. And again, I love this. He stooped down and wrote it on the ground. Then,
he's back down in a teaching position.
Yep. But he wrote that he was writing in the sand though.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. By him writing in the sand, he's not looking at nobody face to face.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
He's looking down.
Basically, he's ignoring because they're trying to talk to him.
Well, not after he said this.
Well, what did he say, Dave? Go ahead.
No, you're about through with it.
Oh, you want me to go ahead?
Yep. Verse 9.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Then those who heard it, being convicted by their consequences. It's kind of like Dad always says. Or, no, I'm sorry, not that. Ryan Bracamonte. You know him? Ryan from Westwood? A million years ago?
Ryan who?
Bracamonte.
No.
Mexican dude. Anyway, he'd always say conviction. Anyway. So that means that they had a heart. They said, ooh, okay, so we're sinful, so we got to... Anyway, let's get to it. They went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even to the last. So I think, everyone's saying, oh, well, everyone's dropping the stones. Now, David, I have a question. The woman says, all right, everybody. Now, this woman does not know anything about Jesus, I'm assuming, right? They don't know if he's a crazy guy or whatever, but hey, everyone starts picking up stone. What do you think that woman's thinking? Any of you without sin, cast the first stone. And then everyone just starts tossing them down. What do you think? I don't know, that's good. It teaches good, but a lot of things teach good, but they might not hold water, so. Anyway. Beginning of the eldest. Now this is interesting, David. David, the older you get, you need to know that you're sinful, right? It begins at the eldest. So they say, well, okay, we see this.
Well, the thing is, the longer you live, the more sin you committed.
Exactly, yes.
So they knew they're the first ones to leave.
Yep. And even to the last. So the oldest goes, and then oldest to the youngest. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. And Jesus had raised himself up. I love that phrase. And saw no one but the woman. He said to her, "Woman, where are your accusers?" Did you catch that? You know, you think of the story that Jesus has all the, or that this lady had, that they bring her and they bring the people she's doing the adultery with, right? But no, it's just her. Where are your accusers? Has no one condemned you? This is important. She said, "No one, Lord." Now, this is fascinating. One of the many verses I don't understand in this context, because you got to keep in mind, Jesus hasn't gone to the cross yet. You know, we're covered by our sins, right? We're washed white as snow from the blood, right? It wasn't so that way. Anyway, let's see. And Jesus said to her, "Neither do I condemn you." So, no, you sinned, no question, right? I'm God. I'm the Son of God. I know what you did. You know, you're guilty, right? But go and sin no more.
Yeah.
I've never understood that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, now, hold on now. We are dead to sin, right? But sin is not dead. You see, whenever...
Well, the way you got to put it, that we're dead to sin but alive in Christ.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because we're a new creation.
Yeah.
Yep. Creation. We're a new creatures. There you go. Yep.
We're a new species.
We're a new species. Oh,
That's what some Bibles say.
Yeah.
You're a new species.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I go with that. Yeah.
You've evolved.
Oh, we've evolved. Wait, do they really say that? I've never seen that. Anyway,
It just says you're a new species.
That's neither here nor there. But Jesus raised himself up. Now we can talk forever on that, because that's in our ending statements. Let's talk about this story in the whole, because there's a bunch of gold there, and
well, here's the thing. After reading the study notes on the bottom, they weren't going to stone her anyway. They couldn't.
Go ahead.
It says
learn me something.
You didn't hear what I said a while ago.
What?
When I read it. It was against Roman law.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You're right.
For the Jews to carry out their own executions.
Right.
So they weren't going to stone her. They couldn't stone her.
So what was her motive bringing? That's a good point. What was her motive?
They're still testing him. They're still testing him. So anybody lived back then knows that nobody's going to throw a stone at her.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah, that's true.
But what they're trying to do is see what Jesus would say about the law,
right?
The Jewish law on it.
Yes, that's true.
So if he said don't stone her, then he'd be contradicting the Jewish law.
Yeah.
But he could have said you can't stone her because the Romans won't let you.
And that's why we call him the professor.
So
that's good. That's good.
They couldn't stone her. Here's where Roman law superseded Jewish law.
Like that. I never thought about that.
Well, I don't know if I've read this before, but hopefully I won't forget that now.
You want to?
No, I need a highlighter. I need a highlighter.
Anyway, you have anything else to add? That's good. That's all I got for this one.
No, it's just like I said. We don't know what he wrote. It's just conjecture, and that they couldn't stone her anyway because of Roman law not allowing Jews exercise their own executions.
Right.
So in a way, Jewish law had to be mixed in with Roman law as a second law. Because
Yeah, I didn't think
Roman
about
law
that.
was the first law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I bet you that irritated them.
Well, I don't know if it irritated them. It kind of sounds like they kind of scared them. Made them all walk away.
Well,
So, whoa. I do have a question. Why did the woman say?
What did the woman what?
Why did the woman say?
What, she didn't say nothing.
No, why did the woman stay there? Everybody left. Why didn't the woman leave?
I believe she was awestruck. Why aren't they leaving?
Yeah.
They got me dead to rights.
Yeah.
But there is one other thing I wanted to read about.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says stoning was specified in certain cases of adultery. Get that in Deuteronomy 22, verses 23 and 24. Though not at all, it is not clear why the authorities intended to punish the woman, but not the man. Why ain't he dragged in there?
Yeah.
In the Greek text, the pronoun you is emphatic. The religious leaders were trying to trap Jesus into saying something that was contrary to the law. So, and then you get in the verse 6, it tells you that they asked him that to test him.
Yeah.
But they know the Roman law.
Yeah.
Why would they try that? They can't stone her.
Again, what's the motive? Yeah, but I see what you're saying, yeah. But
I
also...
wonder what the Romans would have done to him if they went ahead and executed her.
Yeah. But
And Jesus said, stone her.
Now, it doesn't say this, but I have a question. What if she was, this was kind of like a past thing, and they knew about it, that they said, well, and she made a mad or something, I don't know, and they said, all right, we'll get back at you, we'll take this to this guy named Jesus and get him to
Well, he was.
give the say so.
Well, like I said, he was there teaching.
Yeah.
So they knew that he was, and that from previous encounters with him, they're always trying to come up with something to catch him.
Yep. But my point is, I don't think that this woman was like immediately caught in adultery, because it says, listen to what it says. Where are your accusers? No one, Lord. So this might have been something that she did, I don't know, a week ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I don't know.
Or she could have been falsely accused.
Or falsely accused. Well, I don't know about that, because Jesus said, you're guilty, no question.
No. No, Jesus says, where's your accusers?
Yeah. Well, never mind. I have a bomb over there.
He didn't say,
Neither do I condemn you.
Yeah.
Go and sin no more.
Even if you're falsely accused, I do not condemn you.
Well, especially falsely accused. How many people through history have been falsely accused?
There's some that's not even in their history books.
Yeah,
It's been falsely accused.
that's true. Okay, we're going to end it there.
Okay.
And are we going to do another one and call it quits?
You want to pull out your zinger?
We can wait until Friday night if you want to.
What time is it?
7:38.
How long is it? How long you think it'll be?
We can condense it to 20 minutes.
We can do it tonight then.
We will.
Or we can do it Friday night.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
We'll see you in a little bit. What do they need to do? Okay.
Stay tuned.
Stay okay. There you go.
Subscribe.
There you go.
Hit that like button.
There you go. Perfect. I whispered that to him. He said, "What?" We will see you out here in a little bit.